start, I just want to say, all right, good evening to you all. I'm Julius Kofisachi, the head of communications at the Young Investors Network, and I'm glad to host you this evening on a special series of topics that we are Young Investors Digest. So we are looking at career education and mentoring. It's something that we're just bringing up to help young people, to direct them, especially those who want internship, those who want to further their studies, and those who want to secure jobs in the UK and US. So today we have Douglas Ej and Sylvester Ojo. So I'm told Douglas will be leaving us soon, so we can start with Douglas. So Douglas is summer intern at the Bank of America. So we want to learn more of you. Tell us what you do as a summer intern at the Bank of America. We'll be glad to know. You can put on your video.
Hello, Kofi. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Good evening to everyone, and thank you all for joining the call today. So, as you already mentioned, I had my internship with Bank of America in the London office. I was working with the Global Corporate and Investment Banking Chief Operating Office. So, the Chief Operating Office is a function which kind of manages the business for the bank. So each business line
Douglas, please, can we see your face?
Sorry, unfortunately, I can't show my camera because of my current location.
Oh, okay,
so,
okay.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right, sure.
So yeah,
that's okay. Let's go on. Yes, sure.
All right, so thank you. So the Chief Operating Office is aligned to various businesses. So we have Global Corporate and Investment Banking CEO team. We have Global Market CEO team. We also have Regional Management CEO team. So I worked with the Global Corporate and Investment Banking CEO team as an analyst during the summer. So what we did, or what the role does, is to manage the Global Corporate and Investment Banking business. So more of a business analyst and business manager role. What CEO in GCIB does is to just assess the performance of the business, whether the business is on track, whether the business is meeting its targets, and what are the strategies for the business in the short term, what are the long-term strategies as well. So that's basically what CEO does, helping the business run, making sure that business is meeting its targets, and providing data and information on what the business is doing and what the business has achieved. So we also do a lot of problem solving because we're trying to find solutions to problems facing the business, like petty problems the business is facing and complex ones as well. So try to find solutions to them as well using various tools that we have at the bank. So that's basically what the CEO does.
That's good to know. So can you let us know how you got the opportunity?
All right, thank you. So how did I get the opportunity? I'll say one, I prepared for it. So it's all about preparation. You have to prepare for the opportunities ahead. And one thing that really struck me was the kind of information we don't have, especially in public universities in Ghana. Most of them don't know about this opportunity. So if you don't get yourself involved in extracurricular activities like Young Investors Network, and other campus societies or clubs, you wouldn't know about this opportunity. So I want to know about these opportunities, internship opportunities outside through my engagement in club activities or societies on campus. And I knew about this opportunity, so I went for one of Bank of America's events. They had an event in Africa. They came to Ghana to speak to students, and I applied and I got selected. So I went for the event. I spoke to a couple of people in the bank to understand what you do, also make my impression there. Then I didn't apply that year because I wasn't prepared enough. So I started with the application process in 2019. I didn't really put in my application. So you see, that's why you need someone to guide you. I didn't get anyone to guide me. I wasn't motivated enough to apply. So I didn't apply, and I waited till the next year, which is 2020, and I decided to apply. And this COVID issue came. I used the COVID period. School was on break. So during that period, I was just building myself, building my skills to prepare for the application in August 2020. So that what I did. I used that period to take internships. I did an intern with Vodafone Ghana. I also interned with Data Bank. And during 2020, then I applied. So when I applied, so what I was saying is, yes, I'm saying you have to prepare for it. So I had prepared for it for quite a time before applying, and I applied for global markets, and during the process, sorry,
Um,
uh,
Please kindly mute your microphone if you are not speaking. Please. Thank you. Mute the person. Is it possible we can mute?
Techno Canon 12, please mute.
It seems to just connected. Kindly, I don't know. I'm not able to.
That's in phone coffee to mute him.
Yeah. Okay, he's muted. Okay, let's move on. Douglas, let's move on.
all right, let's move on. So I had prepared myself, and I applied for a role as an intern, and I went for several rounds of interviews. Hello, I went for several rounds of interviews, and I got selected for a role in the CEO team in Bank of America. So that was how I got into Bank of America.
Okay. Would you describe the process as cumbersome or is something smooth and easy?
That's a tricky question. So I would say it depends on how you prepare that idea. If you've really prepared for it, it's something that you have to prepare. And people prepare for it like they're going to prepare for exams and all that. It looks very smooth for them. So if you prepare for it, you can go through the process. But it's not that easy like that, because you would have several rounds of interviews, some complex questions that you've not seen, you've not heard before, that you'll be asked and all that. Very abstract questions just to assess how you think and all that. So it's not really easy like that. But if you prepare well, I believe if you prepare well and make sure you align or tailor your experience to the role, you'll be able to get it. It's all about preparation. And that's what I've noticed. If I'm able to prepare for it and not just applying for any role at all, look at a role that best aligns with your profile or your background. So the various divisions or teams have their requirements. Let's say a team in global market wants someone who is good at sales. And yeah, so what have you done to show that you are good at sales? what kind of experience do you have? Have you sold something to someone and you can talk about? Have you worked in a shop? Like you don't need to work with a bank or let's say a big institution to add it to your CV. Like what have you done to show that you have experience in what they are talking about? So if they say they want someone with sales background, it's not only about your academics because they don't really look at your academics that much. They look at your experience in that field. So, so I know someone who had political science and got into global markets. Another one, political science, got into audit, like political science to audit, which is quite different, um, different backgrounds. But the person was able to get in. So I believe preparing will make it easier for you, but it's not that easy in terms of it's very rigorous. You have to go through several rounds of interviews. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for this. These ones. I have some follow-up questions for what you said. With regard to the Bank of America coming down, and then you went for that event, and you got opportunity. Is it something that is being done annually, or the frequency? Or can we know the frequency of that and how it is usually done, so that others who are on and want to also take advantage could also partake in that exercise?
Okay. So what the bank does is they mostly come here every year. They try as much as possible to come to Ghana and Nigeria every year to speak to students in Africa. What I know is
Okay.
the last time they came was 2019. Because of COVID, they altered that event, so they never came until this year. So they'll be coming this year. I am aware they'll be coming in October, but you need to apply. So I don't know if anyone knows about SU Africa here. So you just go to SU Africa, you see the application,
Please,
then you
can you
apply.
send it
Yes,
in the can you send it
okay.
in the comment for
The,
us,
all right,
so
I'll
that
do
we
that.
can follow up? Yes.
Okay, so you just apply to the event. You put in your CV using the SC Africa channel, and you just apply. Then they'll send you an invite to come for the event, and everything will be. If you are not in Accra, they'll pay for your transportation and everything. So you don't need to worry about
Wow.
transportation if you are not in Accra. So that's how it is. So you just apply with your CV, and that's all. Then you hear from SC Africa. SC Africa will invite you, you go for it's a whole day event, so they'll feed you and everything. Then that was how it went during my time. So I'll share the link
That's
very
great.
soon.
That's great. Do we have Sylvester online? Sylvester Drew, are you around? Yes, yes, I can see you here. Can see Sylvester here. Please, if you
Yeah,
have
Julius, I'm
any
around.
question, okay, please, I'm coming to you right away. Please, if you have any question, kindly ask in the chat box. Kindly put the questions in the chat box. I will ask for you. So right now we want to hear from Sylvester Odro. He's a summer analyst at the Bank of America too, also in UK. We want to know what you do as a summer analyst, and you also have a small filler. So kindly let's start with that.
All right, Julius, thank you very much. I believe you are doing good. Good evening to everyone on the call, wherever you are connecting from. So just a bit of introduction. My name is Sylvester Odro, and I'm a student of the University of Cape Coast, a final year student. So as I speak, I'm currently on campus.
Okay.
And then I just ended some internship program. Can you hear me? Just to confirm, can you hear me?
Your
Please?
line is breaking. Your line is breaking. So if you can you can get a stabilized network for us, we'll be happy with that.
Okay. Just a minute.
Okay. Okay, whilst we wait for him, there's a message in the box. So please, if you have not read it, I'm told that it's left with some few hours, about 12 hours for the closure of the American Insight event. So if you are interested and you are here, please, the link has been shared in the comment section. I'll copy it, and if you still do not have it, after we are done with the call, I'll paste it in the various platforms so that you can have access to it. So if you're interested in also working at the Bank of America, doing your internship there, please check it out as we wait for Sylvester to position himself. Okay, Douglas, can I come back to you whilst we wait for Sylvester to come back?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you talked of you getting someone to help you, and you also talked of several rounds of interviews. And you mentioned that it's not about your academics, but the experience. Does it mean that someone who has done, who is doing maybe something in the arts or the humanities also an opportunity, to apply to the Bank of America for an opportunity as an intern?
Yes, please. So there are so many divisions in the bank, and we have investment banking, we have global market, we have audit, and we have compliance and all that. So including CEO. So they don't, in as much as your background will help you, it doesn't limit you. They are not they don't limit you to your background when you are applying for a role in Bank of America. So just your interest and having the profile that they want. That's what they want. So you can be doing political science, or you can be doing pharmacy, and maybe take on like an experience in corporate audit or something, and they like you. So your background doesn't really affect. We do play a role, especially when it's very technical, but it doesn't really limit your chances to getting in. You can get in without a banking or finance or accounting or business background. Yeah, per my experience, per what I know, your background doesn't really limit you. But you have to make sure that the role you're applying to doesn't have specific requirements as far as your background is concerned. Because there are some technical rules that require like specific backgrounds. For those rules, yeah, you have to make sure you have that background. But generally speaking, your background doesn't limit you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. We'll take a short breather as an advert. So I want to advertise to you Young Investors Network and some of our programs. So Young Investors, please, okay, all right. Please, Young Investors Network, we have what we call Save a CD a Day Challenge, which is ongoing at the moment. So Save a CD is a program, it's a challenge by the network, which encourages each and every young person, to at least save 1 CD a day. Now in this economy, okay, so Douglas is taking a leave of us. So thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure we'll catch you some other time. So as I was saying, Save a CD a Day Challenge encourages young people to save at least a CD a day. In this current economy, we are still encouraging that you save a CD a day. But if you can save more than a CD a day, that will be awesome. Because what we are trying to achieve with this is that you will save at least some amounts every day consistently, so that you build your investment appetite, so that you increase your attitude or your habits of savings and investments, and so that when you grow, you will not be found wanting. That is what we call Save a CD a Day challenge. The challenge is on this month. We've started, and very soon, I think at the end of this month, we'll be launching the 90 days challenge, a 90-day challenge. So consistently, you should be saving for 90 days. And at the end of the challenge, there's going to be prizes. There's going to be awards given to people for consistency in savings. Aside the award, you still have your money that you have saved to yourself. It's your own savings, so it is for you. And this month, at the end of the month, we'll be awarding some people who have been consistent in saving. So join the Save a CD a Day challenge today and build your investments habits, build your savings habits. And we also want to encourage you to join the Young Investors Network on the various campuses. We are on all most university campuses. So find Young Investors Network on your campus and join. Now we want to also want to give you the last advert so that we can move on. Okay, I'm so sorry. I had a problem with my network. But I'm glad that I'm back. I hope I I thank you for staying on. I thank you for staying on. All right. So, like what I was saying, I mentioned about the young investors. Please, can you hear me? I want to ensure that you are hearing me. Please, can you, if you can hear me, let me see if you can hear me. Okay, okay, a few, not too clear. Okay, please, is it better? Can you let me know if it is fine? Can you let me know if you can hear my voice clearly and it's okay? Davis, I can see you around. Can you hear me? Can you let me know if you can hear me? All right. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So, like I mentioned, youth in finance and investment internship experience is uh, is here with Young Investors Network. With this, we're going to use to develop a portfolio of skills and competencies to facilitate the transition into graduate level employment through bootcamp, volunteerism, internship, job shadow, performance monitoring on the job, among many other opportunities that will help you build a portfolio. Now, to join this, you only have to pay 80 cedis and you are good to go. So if you are interested, just reach out to your young investors rep on the campus, or you can reach out to young investors, Mr. Joshua, young investors director, Mr. Joshua Mensa, or you can reach out to myself and I'll lead you to him over here. So you can send a private message and I'll link you up. All right. Thank you for holding on even whilst I was away. Now let's come back to you, Mr. Sylvester Ojo. Sylvester, kindly take us through the process, how you got to this, you got to do the internship with the Bank of America as a summer analyst.
All right,
Mr.
Julius, can you confirm if it's better?
Um, your line is still breaking. It's coming to me in bits.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's fine. It was straight. Yes.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, just to give a bit of introduction, my name is Sylvester Odro, and I'm a final year accounting student at the University of Cape Coast. And over the course of the last few weeks, I interned with Bank of America in the Global Market Operations Division. And within the Global Market Operations Division, so Bank of America has several divisions, and the Global Market Operations Division is one of them. Within the Global Market Operations Division, there are several teams, right? I'm not sure if I can even mention the number of teams we have within the Global Market Operations Division, but there are several teams. So when I got there, I was placed in one of the teams, and the team I was placed in called Transaction Reporting Control Group, right? So that goes to you.
Okay.
But maybe on a group, what we do basically we face regulators, right? So every financial transaction that a bank undertakes on behalf of clients, what we do is that we report all those transactions to regulators in line with very detailed regulatory requirements. And sometimes, as a result of tech issues and then compliance issues, some of these reports that we submit to the regulators get rejected or not acknowledged. So So they come back to us, and then we work around to resolve all issues, and we report it to the regulators. So on a high level, I think that will be like a summary of what we do, right? I'm not sure if you understand into details, but basically that's what we did. And so how I got into Bank of America, I think it all began with how I got to hear about this, right? So yeah, it
Yes.
was a personal mentor that I have, because I still have, that told me about it. Because when he was also here in UCC some years ago, he also went through the same program. So basically, he just introduced it to me and said, "Hey, there is this program that I would want you to apply for." And then basically, I started, right? So to
Okay.
give a bit of context to the application process, I would say that it's not very straightforward, but it's not also cumbersome, right? And then I think that what goes into the process, what goes into the application process largely depends on the division that you apply to, because some people have slightly different experiences from others based on the division that you apply to. So for me, I applied to the Global Market Operations Division, like I said, and in the application process, basically, okay, I was asked to, I think I wrote about 3 different essays, not too long, I think a maximum of 200 words each. And
Okay.
then I also did not about, I did 3 rounds of interviews, right? So
Okay.
I went through the first round, the second round, and then the third round. And then there was also a presentation, a virtual presentation that you do. So Bank of America will give you a topic, and then you'll be asked to prepare a presentation on it. And you'll be given 30 minutes to present, the first 10 minutes for the actual presentation and the rest of the 20 minutes for Q&A. And then I did that as well. So you basically have to go through all these stages, and once you go through them successfully, that is when you can, cross the finish line and say you've been selected for the program. So that's like a summary of how the application process looks like. But then, like I said, it depends on what division you are interested in going into. Maybe you might have some slightly different experiences in terms of the number of interviews you have to take, and maybe the essays you have to write, and then a few other stuff that might vary a bit, but generally has to do with what I said concerning the presentation and then the number of interviews that you'll be required to take.
Okay. That's very good to know. Now, I want to know. You mentioned that there there were a series of interviews you did. You did 3 rounds of interviews, and then the application process is not difficult and all that. I want to know what are some of the requirements, some of the general requirements, because you mentioned also that depending on what you are applying for, your experience may be different. I want to know what are some of the general requirements that one needs to have when seeking for such an opportunity um, to do an internship with the Bank of America.
Oh, okay, great. So general requirements. I think one thing that will cut across every applicant is your CV. Right. So the very first, I think the application could be split into 2 different stages, right? So there's the first stage and then the second stage. Now, the first stage over there, it's all about providing your personal details, right? Your name and then your school. You must be a student. So one of the eligibility criteria is that you should be a student of a recognized university in any country in Africa. It's something up open to the whole of Africa, not just Ghana or Nigeria, but then the whole of Africa. So you should be a university student. You shouldn't be in your final year. Um, and then for the first stage, one of the documents that will be required is your CV, right? So you upload your
Okay.
CV and then the essays. Those are very general. Those are very general. That's for the very first stage. So, and then I think that no, right after submitting your CV, you'll be given a maximum of 5 days to complete the first round of the interview. And that's one we call it high view interview. It's a high view interview. And what it means is the high view is basically a system, right? It's a system. And The high-view interview is an automated one. So the questions have been pre-recorded. And then what you do is that once you log in, you play the questions. You are not in the interview with a person live, right? The questions have been
Okay.
recorded down already. So you play the question and then you will be asked to record your responses. Yeah, and then your responses will be submitted. I think you get about 5 questions over there. That's the very first round. Right. But then when you don't get to do that interview with somebody, and then all you do is get into the system, you play the questions, you record your responses, and then you submit your responses. So they will go through those responses, and then once you are selected, then you qualify to the second stage, which is also the final stage. And that final stage, we call it assessment center or super day, right? And in that assessment center, that is where you'll be required to do some more rounds of interview. With that one, you do them in person, not in person, but in live. Okay. For me, previously in previous years, Bank of America countries to hold those interviews in person, like physically. So arrange that. I think they'll be lodged somewhere in Accra, and then all the selected will also be, invited to lodge in a hotel in Accra, and then they'll do all the interviews with you physically. But when I was applying, because of COVID, I had to do all of the interviews virtually, right? So basically, we use a system called WebEx. That is one of the software applications that is used by the bank for video calls. It's called WebEx. So you'll be asked to install that software, and you do all of the interviews there, a video interview. So you'll be asked to come on camera, and then you have all of the interviews there. So in the assessment center is where you do the extra rounds of interview. I think 2 or 3 more, depending on your division.
Okay.
And then you'll be also required for this year coming down to Ghana in person. I'm not so sure, but it might be done in person in a hotel in Accra. So if anyone on the call is looking to apply, maybe you should be considering having a physical. I'm not so sure. I'm not saying it's going to be physical, but
Yeah.
Last year it didn't come. So all of the info sessions that I joined online, right? All of the info sessions, like what they are coming to do next month. At the time, last year, because of COVID, they weren't here. So I had to join all of those info sessions online. And this year they are coming. So it's likely that the interviews might also be conducted in person. But then, I'm not so sure.
Okay, that is good to know. This information. So if anyone is online and it's willing, please kindly note that final year students are not eligible. That's one of the things that the earlier speaker pointed out, and Alassana Jallo pointed out, and then he has also mentioned. So if you are in first year to third year, you are eligible to apply. If you know anyone, kindly let them also take an advantage. You may never know, that person would be helpful. If you do not get an opportunity, that your friend can get that opportunity. Let's not hide it. It's an opportunity. Let's open it up for everybody, so that at least if somebody is closer to you, is working at the Bank of America, at least it's a pride. I'm sure Sylvester will be sending me some dollars when he gets a job at the Bank of America. So Sylvester, do you foresee yourself working there substantively after your education? Do you have some hopes?
So I think that one of the objectives of the program is to attract people, to work with the bank in the long term, right? So it's part of the program. So once you get into it, the bank is even aware that you're not just in there for the interested in working. Once you are done with the program, I think the very final day, they will come back to you, and then they will give you an offer decision, whether, they are interested in working with you in the long term, and then they want to give you an offer. And if you would like to accept the offer, right? So it's 2 things. Either they come to you and say they have an offer for you, are you willing to work with them in the long term? And then if you would want to work with them in the long term, you just accept it. But then if maybe for some reason they don't have an offer for you, they will communicate that to you as well and say, hey, you came to work with us, you are good, and then we wish we could work with you in the long term. So we appreciate you working with us and wish you the very best, for the future. So it's two things, right? It's two things. So they'll come to you and then they'll give you the decision. So I was giving my decision, but I'm not sure if
So you do want
I
to
would
tell us
want
your
to,
decision or
put it in the open. But then it's something. Well, yeah, the question again.
I'm asking that would you want to share your decision with us or you want to keep it?
Okay, so for me, when I was done, I mean, they came back and they said, hey, they would want to work with me in the night. And then they basically gave me the offer, reject, right? But and then you decide if you would want to be there in the long term. My
Okay.
decision.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
a political response. All right. Someone is asking if you have an idea if PhD students can also apply, and then also someone wants to know if age restrictions, age is there any age restriction to it? If you have an idea. Oh, we lost Sylvester. He gets back, but whilst we wait for him to
Yes, I
develop.
think.
Okay,
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 so for the
okay.
very first part of the question, but what I know is, yeah, Julius, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can I go on?
Around. Okay, sure. So what I was saying is for PhD, I cannot confirm, but what I know is that I had some people coming from different countries, also coming to do the internship with me in the same team, who were master's students, right?
Okay.
Yes, so I know about, but I don't know about PhD. For PhD, I can't confirm. But restrictions, yeah, I think that there are, but then it will be the general. I think it should be above 18 years. But in terms of a maximum age limit,
You cannot tell.
I'm not so sure.
Okay.
I think the minimum is it should be above 18 years. I'm not so
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, because if you are not, if you haven't gotten to your retirement age, I think you can still work. So I'm not
Okay.
sure if there are
Okay.
any age
So maybe if you
restrictions.
are
Yeah.
50 years and you are still in the university, first year, second year, third year, you can still apply for it. I'm sure if you're on this call, you are not above 40 years.
Unless, what I mean,
Or
I would encourage you to apply. Yeah, I would encourage you to apply unless they decide that maybe because of your age they cannot accept. But I cannot say don't apply, right? I can
okay.
just say go ahead
So
and apply, and it's up to them to decide.
all right. All right. Thank you very much. Let's take the last question from me. And if there is any other question in the comment section, we will answer. But if there is none, they will bring the curtains, will bring today's session to a close. So let me ask you the last question. What portfolio should one be building while in school? Somebody who wants to get such an opportunity to also work, that pride uh, to have been to have worked with the Bank of America during the summer period. What should that person be building? What portfolio should that person be building? What should a person be doing?
Okay, so I think I'll put it into two main buckets. So the very first one should be academically talented, right? So it should be heavily focused on making the most out of your academics, like making the grades, right? Because it's a very competitive process. Like I said, you are putting your best foot forward. So you want to make sure that in terms of academics, you are doing your very best, you are getting the highest of grades that you can get. And then the second thing has to do with your extracurricular activities. So don't also the grades alone, because like I said, things that you have extracurricular activities that you have to be a single line on your CV, right? Right. You have to add other stuff. Basically, you need to get some work experiences, you need to get some leadership experiences, and then you need to be engaged in some volunteer activities as well. So those are the things that I would advise that people should really focus on, because even in the interviews, it's all about things that you've done before, right? So they're not going to ask you anything about like some brain teaser questions or puzzles on why is the sky blue and those kind of questions. Nobody will ask you those kind of questions. They will be asking you questions about things that you've done before. So the questions usually will go this way. Tell me about a time when, maybe for example, you led a team to accomplish an important task. How did you find it? What did you learn out? So the questions are dating back to things you've done in the past. So if you haven't been involved in some extracurricular stuff, you will find yourself wanting. You might not know exactly what to talk about, and I think that is also not a time that you want to conceive something like you want to say something which is not true.
Okay. Okay. Your line is breaking, but I think
Follow up, they'll give you some follow-up questions, and if you're unable to show off what you're saying. So I think it's a curricular activity because those are the right. So those, yeah, hello, can you hear now?
yeah, we can hear you. Your line was breaking and it's still breaking. Um,
Wow. This network is really giving me a lot of time today.
okay, it's you can
All
take
right.
the
So
last part that you
if you
were
can
talking
hear
about.
now, I think at the last part I was just saying that it's all about your extracurricular activities.
Okay.
Yes. So for the very last part, I was saying that it has to do with your extracurricular activities. So those are the things you put on your CV. People right now should put the best of grades that they can make, and then also focus on getting involved in some extracurricular activities so that they can get some experiences to talk about in their interviews.
All right.
These are
Thank.
the things that you'll be talking about, and these are
Okay.
the things that will basically show you through
Okay.
a
That's
process
good to know.
successfully.
That's good to know. That's insightful. So please, he mentioned two things. If you are here, you are not able to apply tonight, because maybe you don't have any experience in terms of leadership activities. Techno, come on 12, please. Can you mute for us? Thank you. Now, so he talked of two things. I think last week, those of you who joined, our guest also mentioned same GPA, kept mentioning GPA, you should have a higher GPA and all that. And he also mentioned co-curricular activities. So if you are here and you happen to be an executive or a leader, a representative of Young Investors Network on your campus, you realize that you have a good chance, you have a good opportunity to make some impact, so that when you get the chance to talk about what you've done, you'll be able to say a lot of things. I know Sylvester very well. He didn't struggle he wouldn't struggle to say a lot of things because of Save a CD. He was managing Save a CD, and it was very prudent during their time. Himself and Davis, they were doing a lot of marvelous work during the time that they were managing Save a CD. Now, I want to still advertise to you Save a CD challenge. Save a CD challenge is an opportunity for you to save and invest towards the future. And aside that, you would be building your financial savings and investments habits. So Save a CD helps you to save 1 CD or beyond, but consistency is the key. So you save it each day, you put that money aside. You put, if it is 1 CD, if it's 2 CDs, 3 CDs, 5 CDs, just put it aside. And we have we are working with IC Securities who keep the money and they grow the money for you. So putting the money aside, don't just keep it at home. Don't keep it in your bedroom. You go and spend it. So you give it you sign up to the Save a CD challenge. If you want to sign up to the Save a CD challenge, kindly reach out to myself, Julius, or Joshua, or any of the if you know the Young Investors Network rep on your campus, kindly reach out to him, or you can reach out to me after this call, or you can just send a message in the box. Then we'll take it from there. Then you'll be signed up to it. Join the Save a CD a Day challenge today, and your financial lives will not be the same. Now, I want to also introduce to you the Young Investors Network. Join the Young Investors Network and build your knowledge in financial literacy. That is what we do. So when you join us, you also have opportunity to build your leadership skills. We have campus directors, president, vice. We have a lot of portfolio that can help you to build your CV. As you heard him saying, you will be able to do what? You'll be able to build your leadership acumen, your leadership talents, and then you'll be able to utilize the necessary enough abilities that you have. You'll be able to unearth them. And when you get the opportunity to apply for the Bank of America opportunity, you will not be found wanting. You would sail through the process. All these people that we brought on board, Douglas and Sylvester, have all passed through Young Investors Network, and they didn't struggle. They were also at the leadership platforms, or they got the opportunity to lead in some way, somehow. And when they got the opportunity to express themselves, they didn't struggle to do that. So avail yourself, join the Young Investors Network today, and you will also you will not regret joining. The last thing that I want to tell you about is Youth in Finance and Investment Internship Experience. Remember, Douglas talked earlier about doing internship with Vodafone Ghana and all that. We have various opportunities with this Youth in Finance and Investment Internship Experience. You would be able to develop a portfolio of skills and competencies to facilitate the transition into graduate level employment. How are you going to do this? You're going to do this through boot camp, various boot camps, volunteerism, internship, job shadow, performance monitoring on the job, among many other platforms that will help you, the one who has signed up, to benefit from this particular initiative or this experience. To join this one, you will have to pay 80 cedis. This 80 cedis would be used to help you to do the necessary arrangements and all that. So you have to pay 80 cedis as a registration, and the rest will be communicated to you. So the flyers are out. Just look on the flyer. Reach out to Young Investors Network. But on the 3rd, this thing is actually starting from 3rd October to December. this year, 3rd October to December this year. That's when it's going to start. We're going to be on UG and then various campuses. UG, that's University of Ghana, and the various campuses. So if you are listening to me today and you want to get an internship experience, do your best to reach out to Young Investors Network. And you will, wherever you saw this link, just send a message on that platform, and will DM the person who you saw sharing this, and then you would be able to, you'll be connected to the right person. Don't pay money to anybody who is not Joshua Mensah, or who has not been authorized by Mr. Joshua Mensah, or you just reach out to us. Make sure you are not duped by anybody, and don't pay any money to anybody that you are not sure is from Young Investors Network. Now I see a comment. Okay, someone says interested in the challenge. So I'll connect with you. I'm putting my number in the I'm putting my number there. Kindly reach out to me and let's talk. So kindly, I'm putting my number 0543090396. So please, if you are interested, my name is Julius Kofisachi. I am the head of communications at the Young Investors Network. Thank you very much for joining this meeting. It's been a pleasure hosting you, and see you same time next week. Bye bye.